Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are driving on Highway 2000 East-West leg, also known as the PJ Patterson Highway. Now we're going to talk about this highway. This highway was to have been built from Kingston to Montego Bay in one go. However, because of the cost associated and nobody was sure if the highway would make money, if people would use it, it was built in pieces, in sections. Currently, and this was back in about 1999, call it 2000, 23 years ago. Now, it was to break up the highway and build it in pieces was a huge mistake. It's one of probably the biggest mistakes ever to happen in Jamaica. So I'll tell you why. Jamaica is progressing now. So can you imagine with a lot of infrastructure being built, especially on the north coast? Can you imagine if you had a road taking you from Kingston to Montego Bay in an hour and a half? The difference it would have made for Jamaica? It would have made travel between Kingston and Montego Bay so much easier. Right now, the Sangster International Airport cannot manage the traffic that goes through it. If some of those planes could land in Kingston and the people transferred to Montego Bay, they can't manage. But we're not talking about that today. What we're going to talk about is why it was one of the biggest mistakes ever made in Jamaica. This highway makes money. This highway makes billions of dollars every year collected in toll. When the road was being designed, there were no toll roads in Jamaica. This is like 2000 now. People were like, will Jamaicans pay to use a toll? Will the toll road be profitable? The government of Jamaica had to give a revenue guarantee that if the toll collected does not cover the payments for the year, they would have to make the payments. That's how bad things were. So they broke it up into pieces, and 23 years later, the highway has gone as far as Mandeville, not even halfway to Montego Bay. Now, why it was a huge mistake is because this highway makes billions of dollars. So if it makes $1 billion today, it would have made 2, maybe 3 billion if the highway was built to Montego Bay. If you had more toll road, more toll plazas, the highway would have made more money. And Jamaica would have benefited so much more by having this highway. Now, this year, 2023, January to June, 6 months, this highway collected $36 million US. $36 million US in toll payments. 36, that's billions of Jamaican dollars. Last year, 2022, no man, you don't have to count it. Though 25 million people use these toll plazas, and we're talking about not the North-South Highway now, just the Trans-Jamaica Highway toll plazas. 25 million people. That's the Portmore Toll Plaza, the Maypen Toll Plaza, the Vineyards Toll Plaza, and the Spanish Town Toll Plaza. Market of Portmore Toll Plaza is the busiest one. But 25 million people used it. So can you imagine if you had 5 more toll plazas on the way to Montego Bay, how much more money would have been made? So the question, will people pay to use a toll, has been answered a billion times over. Yes, they will. And you can still, and the company is profitable. Trans-Jamaica Highway made a profit of, I think, 11 million US off the 36 million US in revenue. 11 million US dollars in net profit. They are paying a dividends of $2.3 billion to their shareholders. So it was a huge mistake not to build this highway to Montego Bay in one go. Huge mistake. Now, 23 years later, and the highway still has not reached. Look at the profit numbers that the highway is generating. And they have plans to build a highway from Mandeville, where it ends now, to Hodges. It's going to take 5 years. They're going to try and do it in 4. That still won't get it to Montego Bay, even if they do it in 4 years. You have to go from, let's say they build a highway. Let's not kid ourselves. 5 years to Hodges in St. Elizabeth. The highway has to go from Hodges in St. Elizabeth to Montpelier, which is another 5 years. That's 10 years. And then Montpelier into Montego Bay. But I think they have started working on that leg. So it will be done throughout the... Now look at these people walking through a toll plaza, holding hands. My gosh. It's taking this lady so long. Lady, it really take you that long to count $1,000? Ask the lady, ask somebody to help you. So these highways are very profitable. So if they had built the highway to Montego Bay, they would have made even more money. Now, there's a flip side to it. When these highways were originally built, if the concession was given to Trans Jamaica Highway to collect the toll, but Trans Jamaica Highway was owned by the foreign companies who built the highway. So those dividend payments that we talked about, the 2.3 billion, wouldn't be going to the Jamaicans, it would be going to the foreign company. Somewhere along the way, when everybody saw how much money these highways were making, NROC bought Trans Jamaica Highway, basically paid off the loans to the foreign companies, and then NROC, basically at the end of the day, the foreign companies were paid off. Trans Jamaica Highway went public in Jamaica, and NROC now owns 20% of the highway. So every time this highway you go through the toll, yes, Trans Jamaica Highway makes money, but NROC owns 20%, so they also make money. For example, the 2.3 billion that they're going to pay in dividends this year, NROC is going to make $466 million from the dividend payment. That's just an example. So I think it was a huge mistake not to build this highway to Montego Bay in one go. Yes, there were circumstances, yes, but it would have worked. It would have made far more money. It would have been far easier for people to get from Kingston, and Kingston has the largest population in Jamaica. Kingston, Portmore, Spanish Town has the largest population. Probably 2/3 of Jamaica lives in those 3 areas. And then the highway would have taken you to Mapen, Mandeville, St. Elizabeth, Montego Bay. It would have made life so much easier for people. And anytime where you build these highways, you have economic benefit for the areas that the highway passes through. So it's a proven fact. Alright guys, let us know what you think based on the amount of money that this highway makes. That question has been answered. Will Jamaicans pay toll to use these highways? 1 billion times over, yes. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of the video. Leave your comments in the section below. Alright guys, have a good day.